Greetings dear friends, in today's video we'll be restoring a kitchen knife. This is a Miyabi knife, a professional Japanese Miyabi 6000 series knife crafted with Japanese microcarbide powder steel, rated at MC63. Hardness is about 63 Rockwell units. Based on the information from the manufacturer, it's one of the most wear-resistant Japanese powder steels. So, what do we see here on the blade? On the cutting edge we see some severe chips. It's clear this knife was used for chopping. Maybe it was chicken bones or something like that. It's obvious the knife was used unprofessionally. How are we going to fix this? Because this particular knife features such a remarkably thin edge, and since our goal is to make the cutting surface perfectly smooth once again, we are going to need to carefully remove enough metal to reach the full depth of these visible chips. And for this, I'll be using diamond stones with a triple layer coating. The edge thickness will increase significantly. It won't be like a new knife anymore. But because we'll be finishing with the alpha, and I'll say right away, I'll have an angle around 38 degrees total, and the knife will work great for a long time. About choosing the sharpening angle, in our last episode, we talked about how to choose the right angle for your universal kitchen knife. So if you haven't seen it, be sure to check it out. We're going to sharpen this knife at a 38 degree total angle, and we're not going to intentionally use small angles. Can it be done at 32 or 36? Yes. Such a knife will cut better, but for how long? No. Weakening the cutting edge leads to it dulling, even with super steels. If you're not a pro, don't choose small sharpening angles. Your knife will dull quickly. If you are working on an end grain board and fully understand how to properly maintain and use the knife, yes, you can certainly do a full 36 degrees. Again, below 36, well, in my opinion, you shouldn't sharpen knives. They'll be brittle and won't have a durable cutting edge. And the range of 38 to 40 degrees total angle, in my view, is the ideal balance of cutting and edge retention. The depth of damage on the knife is about 3 to 4 millimeters, with an edge thickness of about 0.2. Since we'll remove metal to the full depth of damage evenly across the knife, we'll reduce its width by about 5 millimeters, and the edge will get thicker by about 0.1 millimeter, totaling around 0.3. Increasing the edge thickness leads to an increase in the bevel width at the same sharpening angle. But on such a knife, even with a 0.3 edge, the bevel won't be very wide. We've clamped the knife in the clamps roughly parallel to the device's frame. Currently, we have a coarse roughing stone with a triple layer coating rated at 100 by 80 grit stop. And, based on the electronic angle finder, we're aiming for a precise 19 degree angle since, as I mentioned before, our total combined angle will be exactly 38 degrees. And we'll do the whole sharpening on the new TSPROF system, the Profile K4 2026 in a matte black finish. And since we're doing the roughing now, we need to work the entire cutting edge evenly without staying too long in one spot. Diamond stones with a 3-layer coating work most effectively in tasks where you need to remove a lot of metal and the coating is on both sides. If one side loses its effectiveness, the abrasive can be flipped over to work with the other side. A burr will help us monitor whether we've removed all the damage. During roughing, it allows us to see if we've reached the cutting edge or not. If it's uniform along the entire length, it means we've removed the damage, but if it's missing somewhere, then we haven't sharpened that spot and need to work more. Finished with the roughing. We've leveled the entire cutting edge, removing the metal evenly. And now using alpha stones, we'll reduce the scratches and move on to a fine finish. I'm installing the stone into the abrasive holder, adding oil. Well, since the actual thickness of the stones is significantly different, the 3-layer coated stones have a much different thickness than the standard alpha ones, we're now using an electronic protractor to precisely reset the angle to 19 degrees per side, or a 38 degree total angle. We have set it now, and we have securely locked it into place. And very carefully, without applying any pressure, we're now reducing the scratches. Before each transition to the next stone, we must thoroughly wipe away all the leftover slurry and oil from the knife, as it contains large diamond grains from the previous stone. We also carefully clean off the surface of the abrasive stone to ensure no contamination before we move on to the next one. Now, we have successfully switched over to the 60/40 stone, gradually reducing the stone's grit by half. Also, without pressure, we go through both sides alternately. We've reached the last stone. In this case, I have the Alpha 7.5. In order to significantly speed up the sharpening process and ensure I'm working directly on the cutting edge, I'm slightly increasing the sharpening angle by exactly 0.1 degrees. And first, while reducing the scratches, I carefully work on both sides of the blade in succession. We make the scratch direction in only one way. We don't need chaotic scratches here anymore. In this case, I make the scratch direction from the heel toward the tip on one side and on the reverse side from the tip toward the heel. To significantly decrease the overall pressure on the abrasive stone during finishing, you can also remove the protractor from the Picatinny style rail, kijk, and with gentle, controlled strokes directed away from your body, we carefully remove the burr from one side and then the other. I think we need to do, well, at the very least around 20 full flips. Sharpening is finished. Let's check the cut on a napkin. Without pressure, carefully. The cut is smooth, it doesn't tear anywhere. Let's do it one more time. Everything is neat. Let's try the puncture test. Easy. Well friends, we've restored the Japanese Miyabi knife. Now it's ready for high quality everyday use once again. As you can see, it now has a perfectly even cutting edge and a very fine finish. The knife handles the cut beautifully. Take care of your knives. If you liked the video, give it a like and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next one.